there, it's Anita
and Dario
with the Anita and Dario Show, where we inspire you around the Mediterranean lifestyle that you can do from anywhere through food and travel.
and everywhere. We mean everywhere.
It's a mindset, it's a way of living, it's a lifestyle, it's not a diet. And today we've got Mediterranean Kitchen, and we're going to give you 3 tips to a Mediterranean kitchen at the end of this that are going to be really important for your health, your happiness,
Yes,
your connections.
very important.
That's what it's all about. It's all about eating healthy stuff. So we've been busy doing a lot of videos actually in the last little while.
Just about cooking. And have some fun together.
Well, we love to be in the kitchen cooking all the time. I mean, it's something that we've learned
Right.
that's really important because I think before we even got together, for myself anyway, unless I was cooking for the kids, I would eat junky stuff. I would once in a while sneak in a Nutella sandwich for dinner. I would have some cheese and crackers, which were not healthy. But of course, when I had the kids and I was cooking for them, I was very good at being healthy. And that's why I ran into some health problems. I mean, my autoimmune disorder, my cholesterol. I mean, those things, they affect you, what you're doing. And that's why the Mediterranean kitchen is so important to me. And I a lot of times say, these principles saved my life, for me.
Yeah, this saved everybody's life, I think, at some point in time, right? But I think for you, yes. I mean, obviously, reconnecting with all those facts really help you to rediscover the important fact, your cure, basically.
Yeah. And that's why the Mediterranean kitchen and the 3 principles, the 3 tips that we're going to come up with at the end of this was really important. And putting the videos together for this month were really important.
Yeah.
So I did one dish. It was a lentil dish that I actually did in a slow cooker that will be coming out. And I also did one with a sandwich, and we use local cheese to Canada and local meats, sandwich meats to Canada that didn't have any sulfates or nitrates, that was all natural and very, very important. So make sure when you go into our socials, you'll be able to save those ones because those are delicious. And you made some great dishes as well this month.
Yeah, mine was 2 simple dishes, then you can definitely do it at home. One was spaghetti alla carbonara, classical Roman dish. Actually, it's funny because when we were in Rome,
so good.
one of our clients that we took on our retreats, we call them clients, but now they become friends.
Yeah.
And he says, "Oh my goodness, that was incredible pasta with bacon and eggs." But I said, "Well, yes, kind of a thing. Delicious, simple, such a thing that you can do really. If you come home at night, you don't want to do it all the time because it can be pretty heavy." But you can beautiful organic eggs, some beautiful guanciale or pancetta, really simple. And the second
and there's no cream.
No,
Because it has that creamy consistency, so you think it's cream,
cream.
but not at all.
No. The biggest things there is pepper, guanciale, eggs, pecorino or parmigiano.
Yeah.
And the second dish was some fettuccine or tagliatelle with andouille and brisket ragu. Now, what is andouille? Andouille is this beautiful sausage originated from the southern part of Italy, in a region called Calabria. And the beautiful thing about this type of charcuterie or salume is it's spreadable. It's a spreadable sausage. Delicious.
Yes, it has a little bit of a kick to it, but it's good. It's not like too spicy. It's so good.
It's something that you got to be careful. You can become addicted very, very quickly. But it's delicious.
What I loved about this dish was it was the ragu that Dario made. He pulled out some brisket that he had, the andouille, and you put it on a lemon fettuccine noodle.
Yep.
But you can add it to anything, really. You can add it to a rice if you want, to cauliflower rice. You could
and really, but the versatility. We talk about sometimes about meal prep. Really organizing yourself to have all these items there. And it takes 2 seconds. I mean, the andouille sausage is already made, good quality andouille sausage. And then we had some brisket ragu that we had made. And we just finish it up. And it really took no time.
But you know what? You have the natural ability, being a chef, and hence why we came out with Fridge Feast, to go into the fridge and come up with ideas very quickly. For me, I need to think in my brain, okay, what am I going to have this week?
Right.
So that when I'm hungry and I'm thinking last minute, or I come home from work or whatever, I want to make sure I have a plan in place so that I know, and that I have time in place to know. So we have some healthy snacks, some vegetable sticks or whatever that is. And then we have a plan of attack on how we're going to cook it, what you're going to cook, what I'm going to cook, crank up the tunes, and then enjoy that time together. And it's so important. Whereas with you, it's just sort of like you can open up the fridge and know you can make this and this. And I think it's a matter of habit and doing it more often. And once you do it more often,
Yes.
you think of those things. And so for somebody that doesn't normally cook that much together, we super encourage it because it's so important. I mean, in the Mediterranean, they all get together in the kitchen together. They all get together at a long table together. It's so important for them, and it's part of their lifestyle and the things that they do.
But it is also the way to train your palate on what you like.
Yeah, that's true.
The biggest thing that people say, well, I am not really a cook. I don't understand flavors. You have your own flavors. I mean, nobody can take them away. You're training your palate the same way you're training your muscle in your body. What you like and what you do not like. I'll tell you, when I grew up, even when I started in the business of cooking, there were a lot of things that were very unknown to me, and I could not understand them. They now become very big staples in the repertoire of my recipe. Why? Because I train my palate and I train my brain on understanding those things. I came from the northern part of Italy, so sometimes butter was a big part in the northern part. Would I use butter now as much as I used? We always felt that butter was a cure of everything. But I don't really. I don't really use as much butter because I believe more on the simplicity and the purity of good olive oil.
Which it gets into one of the tips.
It's such an important part of your culinary repertoire of ingredients. Then you should have staples in your kitchen. A good olive oil can finish, can give you the beautiful nuttiness and seasoning.
You can explain what finish means. So
finishing, a classical example. What do you traditionally think about using olive oil? Well, in a salad. Well, that's a finishing, right? You drizzle the olive oil. And why is that? Because it brings the freshness, the nuttiness, the purity, and sometimes a little bit of that acidity and that saltiness, okay? Depends what type of olive oil you're using. To me, I like using olive oil to finish a soup, for example. Like Anita made this delicious lentil dish. And what I would finish it with, some good high quality olive oil that maybe it's got a little bit of pepperness, because some of the olive oil, they have that acidity, that pepperness. Then it finished beautiful the dish, the nuttiness.
I find that when you make pasta, you always finish the pasta with olive oil at the end.
Yeah.
When you make soups, you always put olive oil at the end.
Think about
it's a bit of a medicine too, because it's so healthy for you.
Think about our favorite breakfast when we do our garden. So in the summertime, when we do our garden, our vegetable garden, which we enjoy, one of our favorite things to do or to actually have for breakfast is some of our vegetable. And we're talking about cucumbers, some tomato, maybe an avocado, which unfortunately is not from our garden. And what do we finish it? Very simply, salt, pepper, and olive oil. Some beautiful sourdough toast or whatever bread we made. That is
You're making me salivate.
The best thing to finish up. and it gives you the healthy purity. My favorite thing as a child, to this day, actually I'm going to tell you two things. One, what my grandmother used to make for me as a child, which at the beginning I thought was nuts. But then it became.
You are nuts.
I got water in my mouth.
You are nuts.
She would have the bread maybe from the day before, and made a very good rich chicken broth, a very good rich chicken broth. And then what she would do, she would break down the bread. I mean, it was good bread, but a day old. break them in this bowl, sprinkle with some Parmesan, pour the hot chicken broth, okay? And then finish with olive oil. I'll tell you, to me, this is the epitome of simplicity to the highest level. And that olive oil at the end of it, because it was always a good quality olive oil of the year before, it was phenomenal. And to me, right now, even if let's say we're home and we want to have something really, really quick, I put a pot of water, cook some pasta, and then finish it with drizzle of olive oil, good quality olive oil, and some Parmesan. And I'm happy with that. I really am happy with that. So that the versatility of this beautiful ingredient, this beautiful, I call it almost like a medicine.
It is, and you use it for different things. Like I know, was there something that if you have something with your eye, you put the bottle of olive oil over your eye or something? Yeah. There's all these different remedies to olive oil.
You know, we Tanya know to sell olive oil for everywhere, but the importance of this beautiful gold liquid. We call them gold because it is gold. It's so, you know, you can have it just with a little piece of bread. You can have it a piece of pasta. You can have it just on a piece grill. You grill some meat if you want some. You don't need all those sauces, all this condiment. Good salt, good olive oil, and you're in business. And good piece of meat.
Yeah. Fish,
anything. Just that's one of them.
So that's tip number one is olive oil. And actually, if you do want to learn more about olive oil, message in the comments below and I will send you an interview series that we have with a good friend of ours with Abandon Grove, Phil. And we can send you that interview and he'll give you a little bit more tips on olive oil and the specifics because they're really different. And that's something that I've learned in going on all the culinary tours with Dario. Started 10 years ago, learning the differences in olive oils. It's quite astounding. Like
it is
when you taste them and you realize the quality and the differences, and a lot of the stuff that we get in the stores are really not the greatest of quality. They're mass produced. They're not as healthy for you. But when you get a good quality olive oil, it's delicious.
And don't be afraid about the cost of it because listen, your health has no price.
So then we're going to say tip number 2, and that brings me to the recipe that I came up with, was the lentils and how important it is to add more beans and lentils to your life. And so having them in the pantry is really, really important. And you'll enjoy this dish that I made, the slow cooker dish. It's good for those days when you're rushing home and, you know, we look to cook 7 days a week. It doesn't always work out that way. Sometimes at least 5. But those days when we can't, or maybe we've gone to a restaurant for an event or something. But if we're busy and we're not able to, it's an easy way to set it up in the morning and you'll like that lentil dish. But in the Mediterranean, they do a lot of cooking with beans and it's so healthy for you and how you're doing. So again, the Mediterranean kitchen and the Mediterranean lifestyle is not about depriving yourself. It's about adding delicious things to your diet. So, you know, maybe you'll eat a bit more fish. Maybe you'll have a little bit more beans. You can still have meat, maybe just cut back a little bit on it. But there's no stress to eating. It's enjoying it, the flavors of it and enjoying all the moment and not eating till you're overstuffed either. That's what happens too, is people eat these portions like this and it's not about that. So that's number 2 is beans and lentils. 1, olive oil. 2, beans and lentils. And number 3, Dario.
Herbs.
Yes.
And spices.
And local foods, right?
And local, really, really, you know, we talk about fresh herbs and we talk about how to finish it because there is an element of flavor when you're finishing a dish, you know, and you know, I go back to our garden. You know, we always have fresh herbs outside. Then we have it, and when the season ends, what we do, we dry them, and we keep them dry for the winter. You know, oregano, rosemary, thyme, marjoram, whatever we have. And then local, really stay local and seasonal. I mean, even if you live in a country, then, unfortunately this season, you're not in California, you're not in Florida, you're not in a warm country where, you have more opportunity to think about even the simple root vegetable that you can have and utilize it and keep all the nutrients. Okay. One of the biggest thing, and even if you have some broccoli, just keep those nutrients in it. Steam them, don't overcook them. Finish with a little bit of olive oil, some fresh herbs. Like Anita was saying, using the beans and use them with some local product that you have at that specific time. You can use beans and parsnip. Really understand how to stay local and seasonal, because season gives you that opportunity of freshness. Sometimes I fight with the idea of eating tomatoes 12 months a year. It's really unreasonable. You will never have tomato in North America. I'm talking about in a colder country in January, December. It just doesn't happen. Tomato are from July, end of July, and probably until September, October.
Depending on where you live.
Exactly. Really pushing it. Why? Because they're so delicious. You can just smell them. You can eat them almost like an apple. Okay? I go back to our phenomenal breakfast. When the tomato are off the vine, it's contagious. You cannot eat a tomato again. And you're looking for, and the thing is, looking for the moment of the beautiful ingredient. Preserve them, pack them, make some sauces, do whatever you want to do. Make some preserve, make some jam. This is the other thing. Allow yourself to have some continuity with your ingredients, but keep it simple and even on your plate. So I think the purity and the health of your body is extremely important.
And you know what? That is a great episode for another time, is gardening, because that's something that we've continued to do, and we absolutely love it. When everything comes growing up in season, it's such an accomplishment, and it's so tasty. It's rewarding. Unbelievable. And it's rewarding. So once you start a garden, it's also good for the environment. If every single person does a little bit of a garden, create something that they like, how they're going to do it, big or small, right. How much better the environment will be, because we'll have those natural things in season. We'll support the local farmers that are local to you. That is really, really important for the environment and also for your body. That's really, really important. Yeah. So we've got the 3. Olive oil is a staple, more beans and lentils, and of course, natural, local, delicious food is really, really important. Yes. So we will do another episode on gardening, because I think that's really important, and sustainable gardening. So last year we actually allowed our garden to rejuvenate.
Yeah, we just left it.
We left it. And if anyone's seen the ground, I'm going to have to follow that one up. The ground you kiss, or the kiss.
The ground beneath you, something like that.
Yeah. Anyway, I will put in a link somewhere there. It is a great episode talking about sustainable farming. We've also done an interview with Farmer Lee, which is really, really good. So if anyone wants something like that. But the best way to follow us, every week on Sunday, we're going to be here for the Anita and Dario Show. Right. Come and join our email list, because that's where you're going to see it all there. And we're going to be going over to YouTube and to Facebook and our Facebook group. So love for you to join us there. If you have any comments, put them down below. If there's anything you want us to add in one of our episodes, we'd love to hear from you. And I think that's it for today, right, Dario?
Look together to stay together. That's what we say.
And what we do. Ciao, everybody. Have a great week.
Ciao.
Bye.